Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. Today, we are continuing our ongoing coverage of the civil war taking place inside of the former state of Ethiopia. Today, as you can see on the map, we are looking at the southeastern quadrant of the battlefront. This is the Tigray-Amhara border, and most of the fighting, as we speak, is now taking place both to the east, where some of the heaviest fighting is taking place, and west of Kobo. It would appear that, again, as I talked about yesterday, the forces of the Tigrayan Defense Forces are attempting to encircle or envelop the Ethiopian Defense Forces, aka the Abiy loyalist forces, that are now positioned in and around the town of Kobo. We have heard reports that some Abiy loyalist formations are indeed retreating from areas near Kobo. Furthermore, there have also been reports that Abiy loyalist forces are not allowing the civilian population to withdraw, to leave the city of Kobo. So we're trying to understand what is happening in regards to that. Are they trying to start some sort of universal conscription in Kobo? Are they attempting to maintain a large civilian presence in Kobo out of hopes that the Tigrayan Defense Forces will not shell Kobo in its attempt to seize control of Kobo? So again, trying to understand what is happening there as well. If we go up and we scroll up to the north towards Mekelle, the capital of the Tigray region, and I'm slowly going to get up there. I am currently away from my normal device that I use to conduct videos, and we are slowly panning out here where you, the viewer, can see Mekelle. And the reason I wanted to point out Mekelle, the capital of the Tigray region, it would appear, and this is it right here, that the forces of the Abiy loyalist regime have started an air campaign against the forces of the TDF inside of the Tigray region. Some reports indicate that the Abiy loyalist Air Force is hitting civilian targets. So we do know that the accuracy of the Abiy Air Force, of the Abiy loyalist Air Force, the only way to conduct precision strikes is through the use of drone attacks. If they use their normal Su-27s or some of the earlier model Soviet era aircraft, it is very, very difficult for those aircraft to precisely drop bombs. Now, some analysts are saying, well, they're not necessarily going after civilian targets. They're trying to go after military targets. But we do know one thing for certain within the scope of this conflict is that the Abiy Ahmed regime is indeed targeting the civilian population of the Tigray region. And the reason the Abiy Ahmed regime is targeting the civilian population of the Tigray region is because they are trying to get the civilian population to turn against the fighting forces of the Tigray region, the Tigrayan Defense Forces, in hopes that some sort of broad resentment will start to take place inside of the Tigray region, thus causing issues with the ongoing war effort. And they're doing that through the anaconda strategy, as I talked about before. So the premise or the concept that the Abiy loyalist formations would not arbitrarily bomb civilian targets inside of the Tigray region is simply a false narrative. They are actively attacking right now the civilian population through the use of starvation, medicine, and other necessities of life that are not allowed to enter the Tigray region except on a very, very limited basis. So we do believe at this point it would not be outside the realm of possibility or intent for the Abiy loyalist Air Force to conduct civilian targeted airstrikes in the capital, either against the civilian government of the Tigray region or infrastructure that would service the civilian population in order to enhance this unrelenting, some would call genocidal, anaconda strategy that is being implemented against the Tigray region. And usually, when you start to see the Abiy loyalist formations, and if we look at past engagements that have taken place, when we start to see battlefield failures on the ground, that is usually when we start to see these airstrikes take place against targets of civilian nature inside of the Tigray region. But that is kind of where we're sitting right now. We are watching very, very closely the fighting that is taking place again near Kobo. The normal operational strategy of the TDF in the early phases in its campaign in the northern Amhara region had been to seize control of this Zobel mountain range. Once the TDF has the ability and has seized control of the Zobel mountain range to the east of Kobo, this will do two things. One, it will secure entry and not allow Afar regional forces or Abiy loyalist forces to enter via Afar, but it will also start the siege process of eventually the Tigrayan Defense Forces taking control of Kobo, as it did in the previous northern campaign. They're very, very well executed northern campaign that not only seized Kobo, but Dese, Kombolcha, and a number of other cities, and quite frankly, was very close to dethroning Abiy Ahmed's regime in that ongoing war. So, is it the same strategy? Are we going to see the same sort of a strategy by the TDF to seize control of these very, very large cities in the northern and then eventually southern Amhara region? Or could we see a campaign in the west towards western Tigray? I would have to say at this point, all indications seem to be that the TDF is looking south as opposed to western Tigray, given the flatness of the terrain that is in this area. But we'll continue to monitor, report, and watch very, very closely what is happening in this incredibly, incredibly vicious and violent conflict. Most media outlets around the world right now are only reporting what is happening inside of Ukraine. It may mention this offhand, but we are trying to give you very accurate and precise information into what is happening on the ground. So again, more to come very, very soon. I appreciate everyone joining us, and as always, have a good day.